A black woman in her mid-30s stands before Judge Caprio, facing 11 traffic citations issued within 6 months. 11. Same car, same neighborhood, same officer. As Judge Caprio scans through the file, his usual composure fades into concern. "Miss Richardson, this seems excessive. Can you tell me what's going on?" Her response, just 3 words, makes the entire courtroom fall silent. "I drive while black." From that moment, the case shifts beyond routine traffic violations. What unfolds is no longer just about tickets. It's about a pattern so persistent, so well documented, and so clear that even the prosecutor struggles to justify it. Judge Caprio recognizes the pattern instantly, and what follows becomes one of the most striking moments ever seen in his courtroom. Stay until the end. This case reveals what many courts overlook and demonstrates how proper documentation can expose and challenge discrimination every single time. Drop your city in the comments and subscribe because this story resonates everywhere. Tuesday, 3:20 p.m. The bailiff announces, Case 10483, Vanessa Richardson, multiple traffic violations. A black woman in professional attire steps forward, blazer, slacks, and a leather briefcase in hand. She's a real estate attorney working downtown, driving a modest late-model Honda Accord. Nothing flashy, nothing out of the ordinary. Judge Caprio flips through her case file, counting the pages carefully. His eyebrows rise. "Miss Richardson," he says, "I'm seeing 11 separate traffic stops here, all within 6 months. Broken tail light, failure to signal, tinted windows too dark, expired registration, license suspension check, and several other minor citations. This is unusual, very unusual." Vanessa speaks softly, her tone steady but weary. "Your Honor, I understand how this looks, but I'm not a careless driver. I follow every law carefully. Yet I've been pulled over 11 times in 6 months. That's nearly twice every month. Yes, Your Honor." Judge Caprio begins reviewing the details with greater focus. "Ms. Richardson, I noticed something unusual. All 11 traffic stops were made by the same officer, Sergeant Michael Donovan. Is that correct?" "Yes, Your Honor. Every single one," Vanessa confirms. "And all of these stops happened in the same general area, the East Side corridor between downtown and the residential neighborhoods?" "Yes, Your Honor." "That's right. I live on the East Side and work downtown. It's my daily route." Judge Caprio's expression tightens. He's beginning to see a pattern. "Ms. Richardson, walk me through what typically happens during these stops. Let's start with the most recent one." Vanessa takes a breath. "I was driving home from work around 5:30 p.m. Traffic was moderate. I used my signals for every turn, followed the speed limit exactly, and made full stops at every sign. Then Sergeant Donovan pulled me over saying my brake light was out." "Was it?" the judge asks. "No, Your Honor. I got out and checked right away. Both lights were working perfectly. I even recorded a video on my phone." "You recorded it?" "Yes, Your Honor. After the 7th stop, I started recording every encounter because no one believed me." This statement immediately grabs Judge Caprio's full attention. "You have video evidence?" "Yes, Your Honor. From the last 4 stops." "May I show you?" The bailiff sets up the courtroom monitor while Vanessa connects her phone. The first video begins playing, dash cam footage from inside her car, showing her driving carefully, signaling properly, staying within the limit, obeying every rule. Then, flashing police lights appear behind her. She calmly pulls over. The next video begins. She did signal. Officer Donovan, a white male in his late 40s, approaches her window. His voice is clearly audible. "License and registration. You know why I stopped you?" Vanessa responds calmly. "No, officer, I don't believe so. Your brake light is out. That's a safety concern. Officer, I checked them this morning. May I step out and confirm?" "Stay in the vehicle, ma'am." The officer walks to the back of the car to inspect. In the footage, both brake lights clearly illuminate when she presses them. Sergeant Donovan notices this as well, then returns to her window. "Your registration is expired." "Officer, my registration is valid through December." She holds up her current sticker and clearly visible. A long pause follows. Sergeant Donovan looks at her silently. "Sit tight." He heads back to his patrol car. 15 minutes pass. Vanessa remains calm, recording the entire encounter. Finally, he returns. "I'm issuing a warning. Drive carefully, no explanation. No apology, Judge Caprio watches in silence. The courtroom is motionless. Vanessa plays another video. Different day, same officer, same pattern. This time he claims she failed to signal, yet the footage clearly shows her using the turn signal. Again, there's a long delay. Another warning in the end, a third video. Alleged window tint violation, but Vanessa's car has no tint. Just factory glass. A fourth stop. Suspicious driving behavior. In reality, she's simply driving her usual route to work. Judge Caprio pauses the playback. His expression reflects something rare, frustration mixed with disappointment. Ms. Richardson, how long do these stops usually last? Between 10 and 25 minutes, Your Honor. They've made me late for work, late picking up my daughter, and late to client meetings. And out of the 11 stops, how many actual citations were issued? 3, Your Honor. 8 ended with warnings once he found nothing wrong. The 3 citations that were issued, what exactly were they for? Vanessa refers to her notes. 1 was for expired registration, though it was actually valid. Another claimed a broken tail light, which was functioning properly. And the third cited a failure to signal, which she insists she did. I'm contesting all 3, she explains, because none of them are true. Judge Caprio turns toward the prosecutor. Counselor, are you seeing what I'm seeing? The prosecutor, visibly uneasy, shifts in his seat. Your Honor, I'll need to review the body cam footage and the officer's reports more closely. Do that, the judge replies firmly, because from my perspective, this appears to be targeted harassment. Subscribe now if you believe patterns reveal more than words ever could. But Judge Caprio isn't done yet. Ms. Richardson, he continues, let me ask you something directly. As a practicing attorney who understands legal standards, do you believe these repeated stops were racially motivated? The courtroom falls silent. It's the question everyone's been wondering, but no one dares to say aloud. Vanessa takes a moment before responding, her tone calm yet resolute. Your Honor, I can't claim to know what's in Sergeant Donovan's mind, but I can share the facts. I'm a black woman driving a modest car through a mostly white neighborhood heading home. In the past 6 months, I've been pulled over 11 times, always by the same white officer. Each stop has involved false or exaggerated allegations. Each one lasts between 15 and 25 minutes. Each one happens during my regular commute, when I'm following every traffic rule. Meanwhile, my white colleagues who live in the same area and drive the same route, they've never been stopped. Not once. I confirmed that with them. Judge Caprio nods thoughtfully. You've documented all of this? Yes, Your Honor. I surveyed 15 colleagues, 9 white, 6 people of color. The white colleagues reported 0 traffic stops in the past year. In contrast, the colleagues of color recorded 23 stops combined, all of which were later dismissed. Ms. Richardson steps forward, holding up a meticulously organized spreadsheet, clear, professional, and impossible to dispute. Miss Richardson, this is remarkable documentation, says the judge. Your Honor, she replies, I'm an attorney. I understand that without solid proof, it's just my word against his. That's why I recorded everything. Videos, timestamps, GPS data showing my exact route and speed, witness statements, and comparative data. I knew that without evidence, no one would believe me. From the gallery, an older black man, raises his hand. Judge Caprio nods for him to speak. Your Honor, he begins, his voice trembling. My name is Marcus Webb. I've lived on the East Side for 40 years. What this young woman describes, I've lived it too. Getting stopped for driving while black isn't new. What's new is seeing it this well documented. Then, a white woman in her 50s stands. Your Honor, I'm Patricia Chen, a colleague of Ms. Richardson at the law firm. I drive the same route at the same time every day, and I've never been stopped, not once. When Vanessa told me about her 11 stops, I couldn't believe it until she showed me the evidence. It's real and it's wrong. Judge Caprio turns back to the prosecutor. Counselor, I'm dismissing all 3 citations against Ms. Richardson. There's insufficient evidence to support any of them, and the pattern of stops suggests this isn't legitimate traffic enforcement. But I'm not ending it here. I want Sergeant Donovan's complete traffic stop record on for the past year. Every incident. Include demographic data, and have internal affairs conduct a full review. The prosecutor nods. Understood, Your Honor. I'll file that request immediately. Judge Caprio concludes firmly. Ms. Richardson, all citations are dismissed. You owe nothing. But more importantly, I'm issuing a formal court order. He types as he speaks. First, Sergeant Donovan is prohibited from conducting any traffic stops involving you personally. If he does, you are to contact my chambers immediately. Second, I'm requesting that the Providence Police Department submit complete traffic stop data for Sergeant Donovan covering the past 2 years. I intend to review whether this behavior extends to other drivers. Third, I'm forwarding your evidence to the Department of Justice's Civil Rights Division. What you've presented indicates a consistent pattern of discriminatory enforcement that likely violates federal law. Vanessa's eyes well up with tears. Your Honor, thank you. I just wanted someone to listen. Miss Richardson, Judge Caprio replies, you didn't just seek to be heard, you gathered solid evidence. You built a case that's nearly unassailable. You demonstrated what many experience but can't prove. That takes both courage and intelligence. His tone grows firmer. I want to make something clear to everyone present in this courtroom. Racial profiling during traffic stops is real. It's documented, it's unlawful, and it erodes the trust between communities and law enforcement. Ms. Richardson should never have to record every drive, compile data, or spend her personal time proving she deserves to drive to work without being harassed. But she did. And because she did, we cannot look away. A young black woman stands. Your Honor, I'm a college student. I get pulled over all the time, but I don't have the kind of documentation Ms. Richardson does. Does that mean nothing can be done? Judge Caprio responds firmly. It means you start documenting every stop. Note the date, time, location, officer's name, stated reason, and the outcome. Because Ms. Richardson has just shown that solid documentation can overcome denial, a white police officer, dressed in plain clothes, stands up. Your Honor, may I say something? Are you here officially? No, Your Honor. I'm off duty, but I'm a Providence officer and I need to speak. What Sergeant Donovan did, if confirmed, is unacceptable. It goes against our training, our policies, and our oath. Most of us don't behave this way, but when someone does, it reflects poorly on all of us. Judge Caprio nods respectfully. Officer, thank you for saying that. Most police officers serve honorably. But when some misuse their authority, the system must take corrective action. That's what we're doing here. As the session ends, several people approach Vanessa. The older black man who spoke earlier shakes her hand. Thank you for standing up, for recording, for not giving in. Her white coworker gives her a brief hug. I'm sorry I doubted you before. I should have believed you. Before Vanessa leaves, Judge Caprio calls her back. Ms. Richardson, one more thing. Those records, the spreadsheet and videos, may I have copies? I'd like to use them in judicial training to show other judges what racial profiling looks like when it's properly documented. Of course, Your Honor. If it can help, please use all of it. It will help. You've done what the system often fails to do. You've made the unseen visible. 3 weeks later, Judge Caprio receives a departmental report. Data from Sergeant Donovan's traffic stops reveal he pulled over black drivers 5 times more often than white drivers in the same area. The department launches a full investigation, and Donovan is reassigned to desk duty pending review. Vanessa hasn't been stopped since. Subscribe to Judge Stories for moments where evidence defeats bias, and when one person's persistence drives accountability. Vanessa Richardson was stopped 11 times in 6 months for driving while black. She documented every encounter. Judge Caprio recognized the pattern, dismissed all charges, and demanded change. This is what happens when courage meets evidence, when facts can't be ignored, and when one judge chooses to confront what the system too often overlooks. Comment below. Have you faced racial profiling? Has documentation made a difference? Share your experience. You're not alone.